Do you have trouble staying motivated? Well, that's no problem because in today's video, I'm going to help you with practical steps to build motivation into your life. So let's jump in. All right, I think we've all had this type of morning where we wake up and we're supposed to be exercising, getting ready for the day, brainstorming, but instead we just hit the snooze button, hit it again, and there's no actual motivation to get into the day and actually do the things that we've set out to do. And then we beat ourselves up because we know that if we're not working towards our goals, they're not actually going to happen. And then it turns into this negative cycle and this negative loop. Well, I don't want you or myself to be in that type of life. So I'm going to give you some practical steps that have helped me to not be in that cycle and to actually produce motivation. Tip 1 is to utilize visualization. So before I go to bed, I actually visualize myself waking up in the morning on time and dancing. And I think through it and I imagine myself enjoying it, but also working through the pain. It's important when you visualize to have a mixture of positivity and actually overcoming the challenge. If you're all positive, you're not actually gonna get up because your brain's already like, oh, I've won. I got it. And if you're all negative and you only look at the bad, well, you're not going to get up either because that's not motivating. So what I do is I visualize myself dancing, sweating, working through the movements, and then having victory at the end and being like, yes, I got the dance routine down. Basically, what the point here is before you do something, visualize yourself doing it. When you go to bed, visualize yourself waking up on time and doing what you're supposed to do in the morning. When you're about to do a hard task, visualize yourself doing it and working through it and overcoming the challenges, and you'll be able to actually do it. Visualization helps our subconscious work towards the things that we're trying to do. All right, so tip 2 is to break things down into small steps. So I made a quick example of how you can plan out and break things down into small steps. For example, if you want to create a dance channel, you need to determine things that you need to do just one time, like the branding, and you also need to figure out your ongoing tasks and what's actually going to work for you. So this will take you looking at your schedule and being specific when you're going to do things, but essentially you're breaking everything down so that you're able to plan for it. It's one thing to dream about doing something like this, but it's a whole other thing to actually work towards it and figure it out. Essentially, all this is I'm breaking down my idea or my dream into practical steps so I can actually work towards it. And you want to make these as small as possible for yourself so it's not overwhelming. Tip 3, cultivate realistic gratefulness. When I'm facing a challenge, I look at it as a challenge, but I look at it as something that I'm able to overcome. I don't lie to myself and be like, oh, it's not hard, it's not whatever. I look at it and be like, hey, this is a challenge, but I can overcome it. I'm strong enough and I'm grateful for the opportunity to do this. What I want to encourage you to do is to cultivate that type of gratefulness into your life, a realistic gratefulness that looks at life as it is, and you recognize that you have the power to actually overcome challenges. Tip 4, keep the end in mind and declutter. Think about what your task will look like when it's actually done. So for me, when I'm editing a video, it's complete when I hit export. And then on my next task for scheduling, it's complete when it's scheduled with a thumbnail on the video. So think about what it actually looks like for your task to be done and imagine yourself finishing the task. And then think about the journey to get there. Remove any steps that are unnecessary. Declutter those steps. Sometimes when we're pursuing after our goals, we subconsciously put roadblocks in the way that don't actually need to be there. So if you're doing extra things that don't matter, cut those things out. Make it as simple as possible and you'll actually be able to get towards your goal. Tip 5, cultivate curiosity around what you're doing. So if you're pursuing after an idea, one of the worst things you can do is just to look at the amount of discipline and grit it's going to take to actually get there. It's like, yeah, it's going to take that, but instead of looking at the negative, look at the positive. For me, dancing is something I've been getting back into and it's been hard. I've had to learn things all over again and it's easy to look at the hard part of it rather than being curious about it and being like, how can I get myself to move like those guys move? What's behind what they're doing? How do I even create my own dance moves? How do I make my body speak? So it's all about being curious. It's all about being childlike and having the type of posture towards what you're doing. It's like, yeah, you're gonna have to work hard, but instead of looking at the hard work alone, fall in love with the craft. Fall in love with what you're actually doing. Tip 6, develop the muscle of grit. Yes, when you're pursuing an idea, you do need discipline and grit. It's not always going to feel good. It's going to be hard sometimes. Grit is your ability to move when things are hard and to do the things that you said you're going to do. And to do this, you need to think of it like a muscle. If you think of it like something you can build and get strong, then over time, as you challenge yourself and encourage yourself to push through, you'll have a stronger grit muscle. And finally, tip 7, keep your why at the forefront of your mind. When it comes to the idea you're pursuing, you need a strong why. For me, doing this channel, I'm thinking about the people that I'm mentoring and that I will mentor in the future, and actually helping them pursue their dreams and their ideas and seeing them be successful. For me, that's motivating because I want to see people actually do well in life. For you, what motivates you? Think about your idea. What's going to be the strong why behind it? Don't let it be something superficial. Let it be something that actually lasts long. Let it be something that actually moves you when you don't have the money, when you don't have the energy, when life is hard. What is the why that's actually going to push you through? And this why is also going to help you with grit, like I said in the last tip. It's going to help you with everything I'm saying, and you need to constantly remind yourself of why you're doing what you're doing. If you do that, it'll help you to stay motivated, because your motivation is not tied to a feeling. It's tied to a strong belief and a strong conviction. That's what you need to actually move forward and pursue your idea. All right, so that was 7 tips on how to stay motivated. I'm thinking about doing this as a series, so I'll give like a collection of tips on each video. Let me know if you guys would like that in the comments, and also let me know some ways that you keep yourself motivated. With all that said, go and get your idea off the back burner, pursue it, and make your dreams come true. I'll see you in the next video.